Okay, so we can start, guys. So good morning, one and all. Uh, Let me share my screen. Are able to see my screen, guys?
Yes, sir.
So day before yesterday, what we have discussed is like custom fields, right? So I asked you guys to create the custom fields with different data types, right? So let me log into my account. So I hope everybody created the fields with different data types. So what is this UI? What is this UI? We'll call it as
Force.com.
course.com. Right. So as a developer, we are using this. Okay. Right. Now what we have done. So we have created an object called courses in day before yesterday class. So and also we have created fields. Okay. Let me go to the classic. Okay. I think we have discussed in classic. Okay? But I want you guys to create in class. So lightning. Okay. So where should I go? So what is this UI? So what is this UI?
This is a framework, sir.
Yeah, framework. So as a developer, I need to see what are the fields I have created, right? So I need to go for the setup. And in setup, so where should I see my custom objects? Custom objects will be there in the create section, right? That's what we discussed. So let me click on these objects. Now here, these are all the custom objects I have created in my own org, okay, for my project. So for Swhizz technology, what I have created? Courses. Okay, courses. So let me click on that courses. Now you can see all the information related to this courses object, right? And these are the standard fields. Salesforce has given, and we created these custom fields, right? So on day before this class. And I asked you guys to create the other data types also, except these 5 relations objects, right? I hope you guys created this date, time, email. So you can choose any name. Okay. So name is not mandate, but I need so you guys to understand. So how this date time will so display. Okay. So we have gone through all these custom fields we created. So what is a custom field? What is a custom field?
Based on the customer requirement, we can create.
Like so what is a custom field? If somebody asks you what is a custom field, so let me
Created by the developers, sir.
yeah, created by the developer, and based on the requirement, we will create the custom fields. But in the so so in the back end, what we will call this custom field? I mean field. The DB point of view, what is this field called?
Table.
No, this field called this object called as a table, right? This object is nothing but table. So what is this field called?
Column.
Exactly, column. Simple, right? So what is this row called? So whenever I'm creating anything here, what is this called?
Sir, record of data.
Yes, record of data. Simple, right? So let me so open this table. Okay. Now, what is this? So what is this box? What is this box called as?
Metadata.
No, what is this box?
Object.
What-
Object.
Yes, in Salesforce, we'll call it as an object. In DB, what we call it as? In database, what we will call it as?
Table.
Table. Got it? Table, object, tag. All these are the same. But the only difference is in database point of view, we will call it as a table. In developer point of view, it will be called as an object. And as a end user point of view, it is nothing but a tag. Got it? All three are same. Now, what this ID, name, email, phone, father name, father's phone, father email, father address will be called as?
Fields.
So what? Yeah, what are these? Fields, right? These are nothing but a fields. In DB point of view, what we'll call it as? Database point of view, what we'll call it as?
Tables.
Columns.
Column. Right. This is a table. The entire box is a table. A table consists of rows and
columns.
yeah, it's a table. A table consists of rows and columns. What is this? So name of this table. So I named it as a sons table. I named it as a sun table. So name of this is sun, which stores the sun's information. Okay. For example, I'm saying, okay. Now what is this? So what do you call this? What do you call this? These are the columns. What is this? S1 Chandra, X email, 08. So what do you call this as?
Record, sir.
Yes, records. So in DB, we'll call it as a rows. Okay. DB point of it is called as a rows, and in Salesforce, we'll call it as a records. Whatever the end user is entering into these objects, that will come as a each and individual row. Got it? So these things every day you have to remember. Okay, if somebody comes and asks you what is a object or what is a field or what is a so record, okay, so you need to explain in any other terms, okay, so that is fine, but you need to understand the so what is meant by field and what is meant by object, what is meant by record. Okay. Now, so day before yesterday's class, what we have discussed, so we have created few custom fields, right? Now, and also we understood what is the difference between the standard fields and the custom fields, right? Right. Standard fields are nothing but field is nothing but a column. So standard field is nothing but so provided by Salesforce. So custom field is nothing but which we created. So which we in the sense as a developer we will create the custom fields. Okay, whatever fields we are creating, those are nothing but a custom fields. So all the custom fields will be appended with underscore underscore C. Okay. So till here we have discussed. Now consider okay. Now consider I have a table here. Okay. This is a sun's table. So now I have Chandra, Shashank, Ashok. Okay. These three are the sons data. Okay. And they are having the email and they have these phone numbers and they have the father's name. I can store it as a save. Okay. So all these three sons have the same father. Okay, that's why I'm storing the information like this. Got it? Chandra also having same father. Shashank is also having same father. Ashok is also having same. That is why I have stored the record of these three sons in the sons table. So in the similar way, I have thousands of records. Okay, in this sons table. Okay. Now, my father phone number got changed. Okay, my father phone number got changed. Now, how many records I need to change? For example, I have 3 records here. I need to change the father phone number from 23452 to some 234567. Now, how many records do I need to change?
3 record.
How many?
3.
Yeah, 3 records I need to change. Why? Because my father's phone number is associated with these 3 phone numbers, right? 3 records. In the same way, if my son's table is having 1000 records with the same father name, for example, then how many records do I need to change? How many records? In the similar way, I have 1000 records with the same father's name and for same father's phone number. So now I want to change my father's phone number. So how many records I need to change? 1000, right? Because all this father's phone number is associated with this 1000 records. In a similar way, if I have 10,000 records, then all the 10,000 records I need to change, right? Right? So what is happening here? For single father phone number, I need to change all the records in my son's table or son's object, right? Which is causing an issue for the Salesforce side because unnecessarily we are updating it, right? Right? So, and also the system performance also will be reduced, right? Whenever you're updating something, system performance also will be reduced. Okay. And also, if you see the same data, the Salesforce is maintaining in all the 1000 records, right? All the 1000 records, the same data they are maintaining it. So unnecessarily they are maintaining, I mean, the storage will be increased, right? Unnecessarily. No, so that is known as a data redundancy. Okay, these are the technical term. Okay, somebody asks, comes you, what is data redundancy? Okay, so what is the word? Data redundancy. Right? What is this data redundancy means? This is a duplicate. Unnecessarily, we are storing the data. The redundancy in the sense it is a duplicate data. Okay. So duplicate data. Okay. So in order to avoid this data redundancy, okay, what Salesforce comes here? Okay. So in general, so we have a lead object, right? So keep it aside this unstable for a few minutes. So we have a lead object here, and also we have a account object here, and we have a opportunity object here, for example. And also we created one more object called courses. What is this? Accounts. What is this? Contacts. And what is this? Leads. So these are all the standard objects given by Salesforce. In general, whenever you create any custom object, okay, whenever you create any custom object, and also we will also get a table like this. Got right? In backend. What we have created courses object we created for now. And also we created few fields in this courses object. Now in general, so we have the objects like this, right? Individual objects. So they don't have any relationships with the objects. So this is a separate entity, this is separate entity, and this is separate entity, and this is separate entity. See, entity is nothing but a table. Okay, all are same entity, table, object, tab. Okay? Right. Now, so we don't have any relations between these objects. Just a normal boxes. Got it? So whenever you create any object, the Salesforce will store this object like this, right? Right. Now coming back to our example. So here we have a data redundancy problem. Okay. Here we have a data redundancy problem. Now, so what I will do? So Salesforce, so what they have done is they have created one more object. they have created one more object. They have created this object. Right. So obviously they have a columns, and they have this columns like this. Okay. So what will be, what will have the first column for any object?
ID.
ID. So this will be auto generated, right? Which will be auto generated. And this is the father. So this is the name. I guess it's father name, right? For example, whenever you create any object, so it will ask the default name. So I will name it as a text for now. Okay. It's not an auto number, it's a text. Now, what Salesforce is doing? Salesforce is creating a new object. Okay. Just to store the father's information, right? So where is this redundancy is there? In the son's data or father's data? Father's data, right? So what they have done? So they created a separate table. Yeah, so Salesforce is asking us to create a separate table for us in order to reduce this data redundancy problem. Okay. Now, so what it is asking us, you can create a object, separate object. Okay. And you can move this data. Yeah. You can move this data to the parent object. Okay. You can move this data to the object, which is, whichever you create, you can just move this object. Okay. I already moved it. And here I don't want this data. So because I already created a new object with all the data. Okay. This is father table and this is son table. Now I don't want all these fields also because I already moved. Yeah, I already moved. Now, and also whenever you create this record, there will be a ID got generated. Right. For now, I'm naming it as a 1. Right. This is the name of this ID is F1, for example. Now, so I created this father. That is fine. I moved the data to a single record because only one father is there for now. Now I have 3 sons, right? Now, so how we can relate these two, right? Because we have a separate table and we have separate object as father and we have separate object as son. Now this is not our requirement, right? Because this son belongs to this father. So I need to relate these two. So that is the reason why I have stored that. So father, a name, phone number, email, an address. So in each and every record, right? But now what I did, I just moved the data from this son's table and I am placed it as a father's table. Now when I see this data, right? So to which father this Chandra belongs to? I don't have data right here. So this is a single record. So okay, this name is Chandra. Email is something like this. Phone number is something like this. But this father is related. The son is related to which father? I didn't store right? So for this reason, so what we have done, we just move the data to this, and now we have to relate this F1. We have to relate this F1 to this son. Right? We have to relate this son to this F1. F1 to S1. At the same time, we have to relate this. We have to relate this F1 to S2. Right? In the same way, we have to relate this F1 to S1 to S3, right? Because all this, so sons having the same record to be mapped, right? So this is how we need to do it. Because we remove the fields, right? From the sons table. Now, so I need to relate it. Now, how should I relate in the real time? Okay, real time in the sense in the object level. So just now I have just so mapped like this, right, with a line, but that is not the use case, right? So in the back end, how Salesforce we need to relate them. Okay, for that, okay. So in order to relate these two objects, we have the relations in Salesforce. Okay, we have the relationships in Salesforce. Okay. So how many types of relations we have? We have three types of relations. One is a lookup relation, and one is a master detail relation, and one is a external relation. Okay. This is very, very important case. Okay. So how many types of relations we have? So, if somebody asks you how many types of relations we have in Salesforce, you can say lookup, master detail, and external relationship. Okay. So these two are very, very important. Okay. For now, you can ignore this. Okay. For now, I'm saying, okay. For now, you can ignore this relationship because if you say this, creates a relationship that links this object to the external object whose data is stored outside the Salesforce. So currently we are discussing everything inside Salesforce, right? So we are learning the Salesforce now. So first of all, so we need to understand the relationships inside the Salesforce. Okay, these are the main two relations. So we can create inside the sales. Okay, so what are the types of relations we have? Lookup and master detail and external lookup relationships. Now, so come to coming back to our example. So how many types of relations we have? Lookup and master. These are the two relations which we are using right now. Okay. So relation is nothing but we need to establish a relation like this. Then we are linking these two objects. Simple. Relation is nothing but we are linking these two objects because I need to store this F1 information, right? I need to store this F1 information. Yeah, I need to store this F1 information in this sums table. That's why I need to establish a relation. Sir, what kind of relation we need to establish? So you are saying we have two relations. One is a lookup and one is a master detail. So why we have two relations? Relation is a single only, right? So yeah, why we have two relations here? So let's discuss. Okay, this is very, very important concept. So you may get many interview questions on this topic. Okay, so my goal here is so my goal here. So right now I need to map this F1 record to this table. So this is for this sums, right? So that is my goal right now. So what I need to do, I need to establish a relation. For example, consider I am establishing a lookup relation. Yeah. Okay. So listen to my words, please. I am establishing a relation between these two objects. That is a lookup relation. What type of relation you are establishing? Lookup relation. Now, in order to establish a lookup relation, okay, for example, before going to this, so I have a son object and I have a father object. Now, who is the parent here? Son or father? Father only, right? So father is a parent object. So for this father, I have multiple childs, right? So now who is father? Who is parent here? Father. So who is child here? Son, right? Now, so remember these words. Okay, again, parent and child. Okay, father is an object called parent and son is the object called child, right? Now what I need to do, I need to establish a relation between the parent and child. Okay, I need to establish a relation between a father and a son. So both are same because father is parent here, son is child here. Got it? Now I need to establish a relation between the parent and child. Now what kind of relation? For now I am choosing the lookup. Okay, for now I am choosing the lookup. Now in order to map this record, right? In order to map this record, so how I need to establish a relation? I need to create a field. I need to create a field on the child object. So this is very, very important. I need to create a field on the child object. Okay. So whether it is a lookup or master, okay, you can choose anything. Okay. I need to create a field on the child object in order to establish a relation with the parent. Okay, got it? Don't get confused. Okay, simple. So I have two objects. One is a father, one is a son. I need to make father as a parent object and son as a child object. So this son as a child, right? Then I need to come to this son's object. Okay, son's object. There I need to create a relationship field called father with this object so that I established this link. Whenever I create a field here, automatically we got a relationship between this object like this. The link will be established. Okay, got it. Now I have created a field. Now what I need to do? I need to map this ID. I need to map this ID here like this. F1, F1. F1. Okay, same, right? All these are having the same font. One, right? So now what I have done? I have created a field on the child object, which is a lookup field. So that I need to establish a relationship called lookup relation. So I need to map this ID only. Simple. I need to map this ID. See, for our example, just I have made it as an F1. But in real time, what is the data? I mean, ID will be, looks like. So let me open my name. So what does this ID looks like? This is the ID, right? Just for our understanding, I'm just keeping it as a F1. Okay. But this ID will be mapped here. Okay. This is how we need to link it. Now I need to change the father phone number. So in child object, I have 1000 records with the same F1. Now I need to change my father. So now how many records I need to change?
One.
One record, right? So that is in F1 directly I can change it. Some 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Simple. Because we are not storing all the information in the child object. Just we are linking this object with this son. Then now for Chandra, who is the father? F1 is the father. F1 is nothing but this record. And for Shashank, who is the father? F1. Ashok, who is the father? F1. If you want to change something related to father, so directly we can change from father parent object. Simple. Got it? Right? Now, sir, you said the lookup relation, right? So then what? So when we need to use the master detail, right? Guys, both are the relation. Okay. Whether you create a lookup relation or you create a master detail relationship, both are same. Okay. Both are same. But we have the differences. Why Salesforce to two relationships? Relationship is nothing but just we need to establish a relation. So just we need to create a field. Simple. So coming to my front end. So whenever, now where am I? I am in the courses object. Now I need to relate this object with something. So then what I need to do? I need to create a field like this. I need to select whether lookup relation or master relation. So what to select? So that is the requirement. Yeah, that will comes from the business. Okay. So now we will understand that it's a difference between these two. So when we need to use lookup relation and when we need to use master detail relationship. So that we'll discuss, right? Simple. Okay. So this is an interview question everybody will ask. Okay. What is the difference between the lookup and master detail? Why Salesforce has provided two relationships? That's the question now. Okay. So lookup relation. Okay, lookup relation means. Okay, lookup relation means whenever I delete this parent object data. Okay, whenever I'm deleting this parent object data. Okay, for example, I'm deleting this record. Now, what will happen in the child object? The records will not get deleted because these two are linked, right? These two, see these three records and this record got linked with this father. Now, when I delete this record, this child records will remain same in the system and this field will be cleared. Okay. So what I did, I deleted this record. Now what will happen if you have a relationship called lookup? This child records will remain same in the system, but in this field we have a link, right, with this. So this data will be gone. So that is the reason. So this in this field also the data will be cleared. Simply I can say whenever the parent gets deleted, this is a parent, right? Whenever the parent gets deleted, the child records will not be deleted. Okay, the child records will remain same in the system. But only thing is in that field, the record will be, the data will be cleared. That's it. Right? Simple. Okay, got it. Now, what is the use of this master detail? So for example, so we will take this relation as a master detail. For example, I established a relation. Okay, I established a relation called master detail with this. So now what I have F1. So my data looks like this. Okay, my data will look like this. Right? Yeah. Now I established a relationship called master detail. Now what will happen? For example, I am going to delete. I am going to delete this father F1. Now what will happen? All this child data records also will be deleted. All this. Because this father is associated with these three sons, right? Now father data is getting deleted. Now what will happen in the backend? All these three records also will be deleted. Got it? Simple difference. Whenever you delete a parent record, all the child records also will be deleted. So in this table now, so how many records I will find? 0. Because I deleted this F1. In this father table also 0. So here also 0. Right? Because I deleted the parent. Simple. Got it? So this is the main difference between the two objects. Got it? This is the main difference between the lookup and master detail. Okay, so this is very, very important. Why we have two relations, lookup and master detail. So what is the difference between lookup and master detail? When you select lookup relation between these two objects, when you parents gets deleted, child records will not be deleted, but the data in that lookup field will be cleared. Simple. But in master data relationship, whenever you delete a parent record, child records also will be deleted. And the second difference is, in this way you can say lookup is a loosely coupled. Okay, lookup is a loosely coupled. Master detail is a strongly coupled. Okay, we'll discuss what is this meant by loosely and strongly coupled. Okay, but these are the two main differences. Okay, got it? Right. Now, my business requirement is, okay, this is my business requirement. Okay, this is my business requirement. What is my business requirement? I have a two objects. I have a two objects. Now I have two objects. What is this? Son and child. Son and child. Now my business analyst and the client business analyst discussed. Okay. So what they have discussed? Okay, we need to establish a relationship between the father and son. Okay. Now, can anybody say what type of relation do we need to establish here? So what kind of relation we need to establish here? Whether lookup or master? We need to establish a which type of relation? Master detail relationship. Why? Because, so what is the scenario here? When father is not there, okay, when father is not there, what is the use of maintaining the child's record? There is no use, right? Right? When father itself is not there, then I need to see if I'm deleting this F1. So if my data looks like this, so what is the use of this data? Because I want this son is associated with which father. That is the reason why I created this field, right? I need to link it, right? So in this case, this data, I mean, even if you keep this data in Salesforce, there is no use, right? So in that case, what we have to decide, we have to go for master detail. Simple. Whenever so whenever I need to maintain the child records data, even if even if the parent is not there, then we need to go for lookup. If parents deleted, I don't want child data to be stored, then we have to go for master detail. So in this scenario, so we will decide to create a master detail relationship. Okay, we will decide to create a master detail relationship. Simple. Okay, this is very, very important topic and also little bit confused topic. Okay, but I will explain you in detail to understand the core of this topic, so that it will be very easy for you guys to understand it. Okay, so now what is it? I need to establish a master data relationship. Okay, got it. Now what will happen? If I delete F1, all the S1, S2, S3 will be deleted. Simple. Got it? Right. So this is what the relationship meant to. Got it? So why Salesforce introduced a relationship? Why we need to establish a relationship between the two objects? If some interviewer came to you, he may not ask, so what is the relation directly? Okay, he will ask in the other way, like why we need relation. Got it? Why we need relation? So why we need to establish the relation first thing? In order to maintain the data redundancy. Okay? Got it? So data redundancy means, so previously, we need to store all the information in this sons table. Now what we did, we just moved the data, common data to the separate table and we just mapped it. Simple. Okay? Got it? Right. Now, so coming back to So let me modify the same table. Okay, this is what we have taken our father and son state, right? Now, so going back to our courses. So what we have done? We have created a object called courses, right? We have created an object called courses. This is the object. And we don't have relation, right? We have an object. So what are the fields we created? So we created this a custom object, right? So say in Salesforce, so they will have this table like this. Okay, let me name it as a courses. We'll call this object as a course. Okay. Removing for the record also. Okay. Okay. Now this is the object what I have created. So what are the standard fields Salesforce provided? Name. Right? Name. This name is whenever, so when we are creating this object, right? So by default, it will ask, right? So by default, it will ask whether it is auto number or text if you remember this. So this is what the standard field. What is this name represents? It is a text, right? Because we need to enter the course name as a text only. Now what else we created? Active. Sorry. What else we created? Active. Active. What else we have? Description. So I told you in backend, Salesforce will store the names with API names only. Got it? So just remember like this only. Don't use labels. Okay. Label names. So Salesforce will store this column names as a API names only. Peace. Right. For example, consider I have created this like this. Try to expand it. Okay. Coming back to my, I have institute and start date. Okay. Let me keep institute to start date. Okay. So consider these columns I have created in the my courses object. Right? Right. Now, so what is the course I have created? For example, I created this Java record, right? So this is the ID will be stored in the backend like this, right? So Salesforce provided ID will be stored like this. What is the name I have stored? Java. This is active. So what is the field type here? Active field type. What is the active field type? Objects. I need to go for backend in order to check it. If anything on the courses object, I need to go in the object level. What is the data type it is having? Active checkbox. So what is the value? So will be stored in the backend for checkboxes, true or false. Okay. For now, my data is having false only. Right? This is false. Now start date is something like 15/6. So the batch will start on 15/6. Start date is 15/6. Like that. So Salesforce will store the fee. What is the fee? Okay, it is 15,000. What is the description I have mentioned? Something like Java is a thing. Okay. This information will be stored. Got it? Yes. So a record will be created in the courses table like this, right? Now, what I need to do is, okay, I told you guys to create a batch object also, right? Okay. I asked you guys to create the batch object. I hope you guys created it. So let me open this batch. Now I created this batch. Okay. I created this batch. Let me delete it. Now what I did, I created this batch object. So what is the standard field we need to follow for the batch? Let me name it as a batch. Okay. The batch object I created. I think these are known here, right? For us, because it's just related to this focus stable. I'm just deleting. Okay. Whenever I create a batch record, batch object, any object, not a batch. So what is the standard field we need to choose when creating a batch?
Autonom.
Auto number, right? Because batch number, right? So batches is nothing but, for example, so I mean currently we 11 people are in one batch. Okay, just think from the Swhizz Technologies point of view. So we are building this application for Swhizz Technologies only, right? Now, what the business analyst from Swhizz Technologies and a business analyst from our company. Okay, so our company means, for example, I'm a business analyst. So what we will discuss. So they want the batches associated with this course. For example, Java is the course. How many batches we have for this Java course? So that is a requirement from the business, from the Swhizz Technologies. Now what I will decide. So we can create a custom object. We already created a custom object called courses. Now again, we will create one more custom object called batches. So generally batches will be with, so not with name, right? So generally it will be with number. So that is the reason why I choose this record name as a batch number and data type as a auto number. And it will ask for the format, right? So for our convenience, I have given BT, batch, okay, which represents batch. And also I have just given the number. And all these things, I think you are aware of it, right? Allow reports, everything. So we discussed at the time of course creation object, right? Deployed. Allow search is a mandate because we need to get the records when the end user will search it, right? So I created this batch class like this. I mean batch object, not class, batch object. Okay. Now by default, Salesforce has given me the standard fields, right? For every object, they will give the standard of fields, right? So this is the API name, right? See, even if you give the label as a batch label, okay, I mean batch number. So what is the API name of it? It is a name only, right? For every object, whatever. So whether it is an auto number or text, this API name is same. Okay. So as we discussed, Salesforce will store this API name as name only. Got it? Right. Right. Name. Right. So now what is our business requirement? I need to create few fields for the batch class, batch object. Okay. Now what I have done, I have created three fields. One is a date and number. What is it represents? End date of the batch. And what else I create? Start date of the batch. Okay. These are the fields I have created in my object. Okay. And trainees count. So how many trainees are there in this batch? This is the basic information. I'm storing it. Okay, based on the requirement, we can create some more fields also. But for now, I created for this Swhizz technologies, these 3 fields are enough for them. Okay, now what is these 2 objects? I have created 2 custom objects. One is a batch and one is the course. Clear? Now I need to establish a relation, because if I create the batch, right, to which course this batch is. So now we are belonging to which course? Salesforce, right? In a similar way, so some other batch will be there for the Java course, right? So we need to maintain that, right? So in order to store everything here, like course name, in the same way, like we discussed the for this data, right? Course name, course fees, course description, and course start date. So again, that will cause what? Data redundancy, right? In order to do that, what we have done, we have created a course object. Okay. So now I need to map this batch with some course, right? I need to map this batch with some course. Then what I need to do? I need to establish a relation. I need to establish a relation between these 2 objects. Got it? Why we need to establish a relation? In order to map this course to one of the batch. So what kind of course that that batch is so training on? Okay, right. Now, so what are the options we have as a developer? We have 2 types of options. One is a lookup relation and one is a master detail relation, right? Now I am asking you, what type of relation we need to establish here? Anybody, anything, any guess? Not guess, just think of it. So in the real time, so think in the point of Swhizz technologies. So they have the courses. Okay, they are maintaining the courses data in this courses object. As end user, they will use this courses object to create some course. For now, they have 2 courses, Java and Salesforce. Now they want, so they want the batches in this Java course. Now I need to relate my batch with this Java course. All right, I need to relate this with Java course. Now, what relation I need to establish, whether it is a lookup relation or master detail relationship. Master detail relationship. Instead we discussed why. For example, I am deleting this Java course. I am deleting this Java course. Without this Java course, what is the use of maintaining this batch data? For example, I have a batch 1. Okay, but I need to know, right, for which batch, for which course this batch is working on, right? So without, so this course information, what is the use of maintaining this data? For example, batch 2, like this we have, right? Right. So whenever my parent record deleted, I want all the child records also to be deleted. Whenever I'm deleting the course, all the batches related to that course will be also I need to delete. That is a requirement for example. Now, then I need to go for batch here. So in our use case, we have to go for master detail because I don't want the batch details. So without the course details, then I need to establish a master detail relation. What is master detail relation? Whenever I delete parent, childs also will get deleted. And master detail is a strongly coupled. So these are the 2 things we discussed, right, till now. So those are the 2 differences between the lookup and master detail. Got it? Right. Now, how should I establish this relation? See, in the pictorial way, I'm saying we need to establish a relation. How we need to establish a relation? Now here we need to decide which should be the parent and which should be the child, right? I need to decide. I mean, I in the sense as a developers, we need to decide. As a business analyst, I need to decide. Because in general, so one batch will be having multiple courses or one course will be having multiple batches.
One course is having
Ilekka Tankeshla. All right. So one batch, I mean, one course will be having multiple batches or one batch will be having multiple courses.
one course is having multiple batches.
Right. Correct. One Java course might have multiple batches, right? But we in one batch, we are saying only one course only, right? One batch will not have multiple courses. See, for example, I mean, we are all in the one batch. I'm only training you Salesforce. I'm not training you Java and also I'm not training you Oracle, right? One batch will be having only one course, but one course will be having multiple batches. Got it? Now, what I need to decide which should be the parent here. Parent is course is the parent because one will be having multiple childs. One will be having multiple records. One course will be having multiple batches. All are same. Okay, following my words. Everyone following, right? Yeah. So now I need to decide. Okay, now parent is course because that is one and I have having multiple batches now. So now child is batch. Now we decided a relationship and also we decided which is parent, which is child. Now I need to establish a relation between these two, right? Now where should I create a field? As discussed before, when you establish a relation between the two objects, on the child object, we need to create. This is very, very, very important. On the child object, we need to create a field. In fathers and sons table in the previous example, where we created a field? On the sons table only, right? On the sons table only, we created a field called lookup or master detail with the parent. In the similar way, if you want to establish a relation between these two objects, okay, in order to establish a relationship between these two objects, we need to create a field on child object. Okay, then only, right, we need to map it. Right. Now, what I need to do, I am going back to my batch, right? Because I need to establish a relation now. Now I'm clicking on new because I need to create a field. That's what we discussed, right? Here we have three types of relation. Okay. So external relationship we can ignore for now. That's what we discussed. So we have two options now. One is lookup and master detail. What kind of relation we need to establish? Master detail. That's why I selected master. Okay. Click on next. What will happen? It will ask to which object you are relating to, right? So what I'm doing right now, here I'm creating a field. Okay. Now it is asking to which object. So for example, I will tell you, okay. So this is the status of my, okay, right now. I have one more object, right? Called, I have one more object like this in Salesforce. What is this called? I will name it as a leads object we have. And also I have accounts object also. And also I have opportunities object also. Like this we have. To which object you want to link this batch? That's it's asking. I can link with leads also, right? I can link with accounts also. I can link with courses also. Anything is possible, right? So you can make parent with any object. Got it? That is why it is asking to which object I need to relate. Got it? Is asking to which object I need to relate. So what should I select here?
Courses.
Courses. Because I am mapping. See, if you see this drop down, all objects are here along with standard, custom, every object will comes here. Courses. I'm selecting the courses object. Now, after clicking next, what I'm doing it, there will be the name of the field, right? Name of the field. This is what is asking. So what should I give? So by default, I will keep it as a courses only because this relationship is with it. So which object? Courses only, right? That is the reason I'm just, so leave it as it is, like, so with the object name only. Now what will happen in the backend? There is a field we are creating in the course, in the batch object, name it as a courses. Okay, right. What is this description meant to? Why this field is required? I mean, useful, not required. So why it is used? Useful?
It helps the developer to understand the
Yes.
label.
For the developer, okay, to understand. And what is this help text? It is for the end user, right? You remember, right? So this is a help text for end user to see what this field do. Okay. And this is the child relation name. So what is this child relation name? So we will see in detail. Okay. For now, we are creating for the batches. That is the reason I'm not changing it to anything else. Okay. So leave as it is. So we'll discuss this in the next one. Okay. Sharing setting. These are the sharing settings it is asking. By default, it is read rate. So what it is saying, we are creating a master detail, right? So you have to remember one thing here. For master detail, okay, let me create first, then I will show you. Okay. So by default, so to make it as a read write. So what it is saying, allows users with at least read write access to the master record. Here, what is the master? Master is nothing but parent. Okay. So what is the parent here? Courses record. To create, edit, delete, and detail. Okay. So that means, so if you select this, okay, we are allowing users with at least read access to the master record to create, edit, delete, or read records. Okay. So on the courses record, if you have read or edit access, then only we can able to create this record. Got it? Yeah. So for now, we can ignore it. Okay. But this is just, this is a sharing. We need to maintain it. Okay. For this, so batches, the batch records. Okay. And also, what is this allow reparenting? We will discuss. Okay. So for now, leave it. Now, what is this auto add to custom report? So by default, we are adding every field, whatever we are creating in this object. So by default, we are adding it to report types because so whenever we are using the reports, so this field, so we need to get it right. But so that is the reason so by default, you can so add it. This lookup filter, so we'll discuss. Okay. So right now, simply I am creating a field called master detail relationship data type. Simple. Okay. In the regular field, like regular field only, I'm creating this field. Now I am clicking on save. I'm next. What it will ask? The profile level. What is the profile we are using? Sales rep. So by default, it is enabled. Next. What is the layout? By default, we have one layout for the batch also. So we're just adding it. A related list label, I'm just adding it. Okay. Next, save it. Cannot create, you cannot create. Okay. So I'll go to back and I'll do. Okay. Now what I am done, I have created a master detail relationship data type with the courses object. After clicking on save, this is a field we created. Got it? This is a master detail relationship field. Got it, everyone? Right. Now, what I have done? Now, whenever this field got created in the batch, now a relation will be established. A relation will be established. So what is that relation? We created master detail. Simple. Okay. I created a relation between these two objects with master detail field. Okay. Now forget about the second. Okay. So we have established a relation. Good. Now I need to create a record now. Okay. Now I need to create a record. So what this end user will do, I have given the tab access. So I have two courses here, Java and Salesforce. Okay, fine. Now I need to create a record for this Salesforce course. So simply they will have one option called tab option. They will come here and I will click on go. There is no record here. I am clicking on new batch, right? How many count? So we can make it as a 12 members. What is the start date? A new batch is going to start from June 1st. So why this we got a date picker? We'll call this as a date picker. Why we got this? Because we created this field data type as a date. Okay, that is the reason. So by default, Salesforce will give us the date picker in order to select. So end date is, I think we can keep it as 1 month. Okay, right. So if you see this, whenever I am creating a record on the batch, right? What it is asking me? It is a mandatory field. It is a mandatory field. That means I told you, right? What is the second difference I told you? What is the second difference I told you between the lookup and master detail? One is whenever I delete parent, child will remain same in lookup, and whenever we delete parent, child also will be deleted. That is one difference. What is the other difference I told? Lookup is a loosely coupled. Master detail is a strongly coupled. So what does that mean? I told you I will discuss, right? So this is what the loosely coupled meant to. Okay. Loosely coupled means whenever you are creating any record. Okay. Whenever you are creating any record in this batch. Okay. Courses is not a mandatory field for the lookup relation. That is so loosely coupled. But whenever you are creating a batch record, parent should be mandate. You have to enter a value in order to link it. Otherwise, record will not be stored here. Got it? That is the reason it is asking to map some parent record. You are creating a child record, that's fine. But you have to map because this relation is a master detail. Okay. So let me select for Salesforce. There is a trainee contestant, start date, end date, courses. Now click on new. So what I have done, I created a record. Okay. Why it came to BT0003? Because I already created two records. I already created two records yesterday, but I deleted those two records. But Salesforce, what it will do? It will auto calculate this number. Okay. That is the reason it came as 3. But for you guys, it will come as 1 only. If you are going to create the first record, it will come as 0001. Okay. But for me, it is 003 because I already created two records yesterday and I just deleted those records. Okay. Now, what I did, I created a record. This is the name of the record. See, this is a label. Okay. This is the label. Whatever you are seeing here, those are the labels, right? Whatever the API name of this, the data will be stored with the API name. What is the API name for this? Batch number. This is a field label which we are going to see on UI. What is the API name? Name. Okay. So This name will be with 003. What is the record ID it has given to me? This one. Okay. So the record ID, I got it. What is the end date I have given for this record? 30 June. What is the start date I have given? 1/6. Trainees count is 12. This is the record what I created. And now what I have done, I have mapped with Salesforce record. I mapped with Salesforce record. I have one more record, right, on this courses table. False. Description is something. Okay, what is the data we are stored in this? This is Salesforce course. Is also you can have it in the description. What is the amount? I think this is the amount what we have entered here, right? On the courses, right? What is the start date? 1/6. Okay, this is the record what we have. And what is the record ID for this course? This is the record ID. Got it? This is how the data will be stored in the backend. Now what I have done, I have created this batch and I linked with this Salesforce course. What is the Salesforce course ID here? This is the Salesforce course ID, right? Coming to back to this, I am linking with this record, right? Now, what I told, whenever you are linking it, this ID will be mapped in this backend. The data will be stored like this. If you remember the father and son relation, what we have mapped here, F1 for the son's table, F1 we mapped. So for courses, I mean, not only for course, okay, any relation, if you want to establish a relation in backend, Salesforce will map this ID because ID is only the unique field, right? These are not the unique fields. Only ID is the only unique field maintaining by the Salesforce, right? Now, what we have done, we have mapped what we have done. We have mapped this record. Okay, we have mapped this record with this record. This is what we discussed in the first slide. How to maintain this thing? We have to create a relation first with the object, and we need to create a field on the child object, and we need to map the record. Okay, first we need to establish a relation. Then when creating a record, it will ask based on the relationship, whether there's a master detail or lookup. So for master detail, this is a mandate. Whenever you're creating any child record, you have to enter a parent. Simple. Okay. But for lookup, this is not a mandatory. This is not a mandatory because you can enter the child records without parent also. That is known as loosely coupled. Got it, everyone? But for master detail, as it is a strongly coupled, we need to enter the parent. Simple. Whenever you're creating a child record, you need to enter a parent. That is known as loosely coupled and strongly coupled. If somebody asks you, so what is the difference? Simply you will say, okay, sir, lookup is a loosely coupled, master is strongly, right? And they will ask what is meant by loosely coupled, what is meant by strongly coupled. Then you need to explain this. Okay. As we are creating a child record, sir, parent is not a mandatory in lookup. But in master detail, whenever I'm creating the child record, parent is a mandate in master detail. This is one of the difference. I told you two differences now. Okay. These two are very, very important. Now, okay, this end user, what this end user did, he created this batch. Okay. Now, so mistakenly he selected course. People will do mistake, right? Right. In a hurry or something, he entered the wrong course here. Actually, this batch belongs to Java. Okay. But before going to before going to that, I want to show you here. Sir, you should ask me. Sir, you said courses in the backend. You are saying it is storing the ID information, sir. Right? But on UI, it is coming as a name, sir. Why? Right? So if you click on this anything, start date or something, it is not redirecting, right? But it is a reference. See, there is a link on it. If you hover it, it is redirecting to courses. Let me click on it. It went to course directly, right? That is a reference. Okay. For example, if Salesforce stores you this data and if they display on here, so you people will understand to which course it links with. No, right? So this is an ID, just an ID. In the backend, for Salesforce purpose, they have stored the ID. This is a reference because it's a unique field. But front end, you will get the name only. Okay. So you need to remember that. So whatever the relation you are establishing, not only for this object, any objects in between these objects, whatever the relation you are establishing, Salesforce will maintain the ID in the backend. So this is very, very important. Okay. But for front end, it is just showing us the name of the record. Name of the record. Okay. Got it? Right. Now, where are we? Yeah, by mistakenly end user, okay, who sits at the reception, so they have wrongly entered the course. Actually, this batch belongs to Java. Okay, they selected this one. Now what the end user will do? Now what the end user will do? End user will modify the record, right? End user will modify the record. So then he wants to modify the course. So is Salesforce allowing me to update the courses? No, right? I want to modify this record because I need to update the Salesforce. Salesforce to Java. Now, what is the option that end user is having? He can delete the record and he can create a new record. That makes sense, right? Yes. But deletion of record is not a best practice, right? Because see, for example, I have around 100 records which I entered wrongly. So do I need to delete all the 100 records and all again recreate all these things? That won't be good, right? Simply we should have an option to modify it, right? Right? When I click on edit, it is not allowing me to change it. What is the reason for that? I am on which object? I am creating the batch record. So let me go to the batch object. Again, you have to redirect. I'm showing. Okay. You have to go for batch because batch is a custom object. Custom objects will be stored in the create section. Under create section, objects will be there. Here, I want to go for batch because batch only, right? I have a problem. For this course field only, I have a problem because it is not allowing me to update. So let me go to this course. What is this? Okay, it's a master data relationship. Let me open it. Yeah. Let me edit it. So I told you we'll discuss this, right? What is this? Allow reparenting. That means it is asking whether we need to allow the user to reparent the child record with some other parent, right? here we disabled it. Child records can be reparented to other parent records after they are created. Coming to example, we already created this child record, right? And we mapped with this Salesforce, right? Now I need to map this to Java now. I need to map this to Java. So Salesforce is not allowing me. That is what this meant to. Got it? When I enable this, I am allowing the child records to be reparented. Okay. As an end user now, he will refresh the page and I will ask him to, I have done the changes, you can do right now. See, now it got enabled. Now I can remove this and I can, so click on the lookup. So here, this is the recent course view only. Even if you have 100 records in these courses, what are the recent viewed courses will come here. Okay. But the best practice is you have to search here in order to find the record. That is the best practice you have to follow. Okay. So simply, sir, I clicked this record, sir. But here the record is not showing, sir. That is not the correct because this is a recently viewed only. That record, I mean, you might not so visit recently, right? So that is the reason you have to search here. Whatever the record you want to find, you have to search it. Then you have to select it. Now what I have done? What I have done? I have reparented. Now this course belongs to not Salesforce. This course belongs to Java ID. Got it? Clear? Now I mapped this record with this Java. Okay, that is what this allow reparenting meant. Got it? Now, so what is the parent here? What is the parent? We have created a child record, right? What is the parent here for this record? Java is the
Course.
parent. Java is the parent, right? I mean, I am discussing now on the UI level. UI level in the sense end user level. For end user, for this batch, what is the parent? Java. Because end user will discuss only on the record level, right? Only he will discuss on the records level. So for this record, what is the parent record? Java is the parent record. Okay. For developers, for us, for this object, so what is the parent object? Courses object. For end user, for this record, what is the parent record? Java record, because he linked, right? Now let me click on this Java and I need to go for the parent. Okay. Now, if you see this is the parent, right? This should have a child, right? Child called batches. So where should I see this batches? If you see this is where I have seen the batches. That means for this course, one batch is already there. Okay. Now, what is this batch? If you remember, whenever you're creating this master detail, it has asked us, right? Related list label. What is meant this related list label, right? This is what will be displayed here. Got it? See, simple. Don't get confused. Okay. I am on Java. This is a parent record. For that parent record, whatever records are related as a child's, these are all the child objects only. All are standard only. If you remember, whenever you creating these objects, it asked us to nodes and attachments. So that is the first time it will come, right? That is this. And whenever you click on the allow activities, if you remember, so that is this. So all for these are all the standard ones. Okay. For every object, Salesforce will give all these three by default, right? This is a custom object we created and we related. Okay, this is a custom object we created and we related. That is the reason it is asking what is the label I need to show you as a related object. Okay, got it? Related list label is nothing but because this is the child label. Okay, got it? Right. Now, for this Java, right, I want to create one more batch. Trainees count is something around 20. Start date is from Start date should be from July 1st. Okay. End date should be some July 31st. What I need to do, I want to relate it to Java. Okay. Say what I have done. See, the batch number is auto number. It came as a 4. Now what I did, I created a batch with Java as a parent. Now I need to go to this Java course only. Again, I need to refresh. Now, how many batches I created for Java? 2 batches, right? If you see this, 3 and 4 are here. Okay, got it? So, for example, I will create one more batch. I in the sense now I'm creating as a 25. Start date should be something around August batch, for example. As an user, I'm creating now August 31st. Okay. Again, I need to link this to Java because that is also a Java batch. Okay. This is a record I created. Now, when I go to Java, how many batches is there? 3 batches, right? For Java, this is a parent. For parent, I have 3 child records. 3 child records. If you open these 3 records, the field will be with Java only, that master detail. So that is the reason those 3 fields, those 3 records comes under this Java course record. Okay. Now I need to create one more batch. Okay. Related to Salesforce. But so trainee count is 12. Start date should be from June 15th. Okay. Start date should be June 15th. And date should be, I can keep it as a June 15th, right? I can keep it as July 15th, 1 month. Okay. So courses. So what I need to select here because I want to create a batch for this Salesforce course. Okay. Clicking on save. Record got created with batch number as 0006 because it's the auto number. Right. Now I need to refresh this Java. Now is it batch comes here? 006 batch? No, why? Why?
Batch is Salesforce.
Yes. Course is Salesforce. Then I need to go for Salesforce record because that is a parent for the batch 6, right? See, right? For this course, so 006 belongs to Salesforce course record, right? This is how the records will be stored in the database because we had a relation. Okay, we had a relation. Got it? Clear, everybody? Now, what we have discussed till now. So, for example, this is a master detail, right? This is a master detail. Let me open this BT006 record in some other tab. Okay. Now I will delete the record. This is a parent record. I am deleting it. Record got deleted. There is no course, right? If you see, there is no Salesforce. I deleted it. What will happen? What should happen for this 006? whether this should be deleted. I mean, the value in this should be cleared, or this entire record should be deleted.
Entire record should be deleted.
Yes, I need to refresh it. Okay, I'm just refreshing it. What happened? There is no 006 batch in the batches tab. See? Why? Because there is no parent course. We don't have parent course. Batch also related to that Salesforce got deleted. Right? This is how we need to establish a relation. Got it, guys? Any doubts? Anybody having?
Yeah, sir. Yeah, you have created one batch number, right?
Okay.
If I delete that batch, only the batch,
Okay.
and I recreate the batch, if the number skips and create the batch, or it continues the number.
So, okay, let me go to the real time now. Okay. I am on the Java. Okay. For this Java, I have 3 batches 0, 0, 1, 0, 8. Now I'm going to delete the batch 4. Okay. I'm going to delete the batch. Now what happened? I deleted. Now batch 0004 is not there. In order to make the confirmation, I will go to the batch and I will click on go. There is no 004 batch. Right? Now what I did, I just deleted the child data. That's it. I just deleted all the child data like this. Now nothing will happen for the parent. That's for sure, right? You guys clear, right? That so nothing will happen for the parent because I just deleted child. Right. Now I'm going to create one more batch. That's what, right? So directly I can create from here also, or else you can directly go to the batches also. So both are same. Okay. Only difference is when you came from this parent, right? When you are trying to create from the parent, automatically Java will be populated. So because you already on the parent, you are creating this batch from this parent, right? That is why Salesforce automatically populating that. You can change also if you want. But if it comes from the batch, right, it will ask. So both are same, nothing. Okay? So now for our best practice, what I am doing, I need to create a batch on this course. That's why I opened the course and I'm creating, right? Now trainees count will be around 50 people, for example. Start date, I will enter random date, okay? From 31st to Java only. Click on save. What happened? I'm again going to Java course. What is the number it got populated? 007. I deleted 004, but Salesforce has given me 007. Understood? Prashant?
Yes, sir.
Am I cleared your doubt or still you have any doubt?
No, sir. Yeah, you have created batch number 5, right? The last one.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, the batch number should be 6, right?
Yeah, why it came 7?
Yeah, that's my doubt, sir.
Yeah, so you have to tell why we got
Okay.
7. Just think of why you got 7. Why there is 6 got missed. Because Salesforce system will not do mistake. Okay. It's the first thing everyone has to remember. Something we have done, right? Why there is 4 is not there? Why 2, 3 is not there? I mean, sorry, 1, 2 is not there. Why 4 is not there? Anybody? Why 4 is not there?
We deleted the batch.
Yes, we deleted the batch. Why 1, 2 is not there? I deleted. Why 6 is not there? I
We-
delete.
Mm,
Because 6 batch is for what? 6 batch is for Salesforce, right? We created. I have shown you, right? In the courses, the 6th record is associated with Salesforce record. Salesforce course. I deleted the Salesforce course. That's why child also got deleted. Okay, let me make it very clear now. Here we have a recycle bin. What is this UI? So where am I right now? What do you call this page? What is this page?
Classic.
Ah, that is okay, classic. But what is this? What is this? Framework, right? This is framework because so you're not able to see this backend setup, right? This is the UI. So for end users, Salesforce has provided an option as a recycle bin. If they by mistakenly they deleted some record, for example, okay, they can go to this recycle bin. Here we have an option called my recycle bin. My in the sense Chandu Shaker recycle bin. Okay, all recycle bins. So whoever deletes the record, the data will come here. One second, this. Yeah, sorry guys, I got it. Okay, so by mistakenly, he deleted some data. So now what is all recycle bins? Everything will be stored, but not only mine. Okay, so what is this 004? It is a recycle bin. Okay, that is the related to batch object. So deleted by Chandu Shekhar on 21st 5/11 AM. Okay, you got it, Shasha?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So records will be automatically, this ID will be generated. But why we don't have the record in between? That means somebody created that record and somebody delete the record. That's it, simple. Okay, clear, Shashank? Any still have any doubt?
Yeah, if I deleted from recycle bin, will it regenerate in order or will be the same numbers?
That we need to check. Okay,
Okay, okay, sir.
everything should be the practical only. That is what
Okay, sir.
we have to learn it. Okay,
Okay, sir.
I'm just okay. Here we have undelete. I deleted. Okay, this undelete I already done that. It is not here. So let me go to the batches. How you got it?
Yeah.
Correct. The
Yeah.
same number it got.
Okay.
Again, I'm deleting the same. It's not there. Again, I need to go for recycle bin. That we need to test as a developer, as a learner. You have to check these things. Okay.
Okay.
Just play it. That's it. You see, for example, where is the batch 6? Batch 6 I deleted today only, right? Just now I deleted batch 6. But when I go to
Yeah.
the recycle bin, where is the batch 6? It's not there. Why batch 6 is not there in recycling bin? Today only I deleted, right? Yesterday's deletion data also we have. Okay. On 16th also I deleted something. On 11th also I deleted something. But today, so I deleted. Where is it? So like that, you have to come up with the doubts. Sir, you told, say, so every record we deleted will be in the recycle bin. But that record is not there. Why, sir? You should come up with that doubts, okay? Now, my question is, 006 belongs to which course? That is a, so here, B004 is a child record, right? That is a child record we deleted directly from this. So that is no impact on the parent, right? This is simpler record I deleted, child record. That is why it is directly showing in here. But 006 will be deleted directly, or we deleted the parent also. So how it got deleted? Batch 006 deleted from the system because of the parent, right? We deleted courses directly. Salesforce course we deleted. Because of this Salesforce course, 0006 got deleted, right? That is why it is under this Salesforce course. Okay, like that we need to understand like how the Salesforce is doing the things in the backend. Okay, let me undelete this. We'll see what will happen. Okay, now what is this courses? Now till now I have only one course. Now again I undeleted from the recycling bin. Batch came or not? This batch got deleted. I didn't delete manually. This batch got deleted because of this course. Whenever I delete this course, child also will be deleted, right? So that's why I need to revert, undelete the parent only because this is a strongly coupled. Got it? Now I need to go for batches. We'll see. So how many batches we have now? See, 3, 5, 6, 7 also there. Now what I will do? I will undelete the 4 also. Simple. And I need to refresh the batch. How many we got? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? Now I'm deleting this. Again, I will, that will comes under recycle. Now I am going to delete directly the 6th one. Directly I'm deleting this 6th one. Only batch I'm deleting it. Now how many are there? 3. Now I will refresh the recycle bin. 6 came, right? Because I deleted manually this batch record. Now I'm undeleting it. Let me refresh my batch. 3, 5, 6 also came, right? Now again I want to delete this batch record, but not manually, right? I want to delete the course itself. I'm not deleting it manually. I'm going to delete the course itself directly. Now, how many batches I'm having? Where is the 6? Because 6 got deleted because parent got deleted. Got it? Now, when I check for the recycle bin, where is the 6 batch? 6 batch is not there because 6 batch is deleted and it is through Salesforce record. That's why it is not showing here. So it will be there inside the Salesforce record. Got it? Got it, Shashank?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it's a little bit this one just so you guys have to create and delete and so play with it. Simple. So nothing will happen, right? So you will get some doubts. Yeah. So you have to get the doubts. So or else, so you will not understand in deep the Salesforce things. Okay. This is how it will go. Now you got it right. Relation is the very, very, very important. If you understand these relationships, it is very, very easy. because this is a core concept of Salesforce where you have to learn and understand it. Not only learn, you need to understand in deep. Okay. So that's where I just repeated the today's session again. Okay. Because yesterday also don't have recording, and so I think so all of you guys understood, right? What is the relation? Now try with lookup also. Try to create a lookup field with the batch or some other object. Okay. For example, I have yesterday also I told the same thing. I think how many guys created this. For example, I have a account option. Just to relate this with account lookup. Okay. So just leave this relation as it is with master, and also create one more relation with account also with this batch, and name it as a lookup relation. Okay. And name this as a lookup relation. And try and compare both. Okay. And you will understand, and you will get many doubts here. So one object can have a multiple parents also. Got it? One object will be having multiple parents. Now here for this object account, I mean, when I establish a relationship called lookup, right? Now account is the parent and courses is also a parent. So one batch object is having two parents, right? Got it? So try to establish a relationship with some other object. We'll see. So how it works and come up with doubts. Okay. Yes. So on a whole, what we understood. On a whole, what we understood. In Salesforce, we have one too many relationship. Simple. Salesforce is providing us one too many relationships. We have multiple relationships also, right? One to one. So what else we have? Many to one.
Many to many.
Many to many. These are the normal relationship we learned when we are in DBMS concepts, right? Right. But in Salesforce, we have one to many relationship. This is what we have in the Salesforce. That's how what we have seen right now. One course is having multiple batches and means multiple childs. One to many. Got it? Right. This is what. So what is the relationship we have? So we have two types of relationships. Actually three. But for now, two relationships. Lookup and master detail. What are the differences between? So you should ask yourself why we have two relationships. So then you can understand the differences. Okay. So what is the difference between lookup and master detail? So when you will choose lookup, when you will choose master detail. Okay. In Salesforce. So all this lookup and master detail are nothing but one to many relationships. So you can ignore this. Okay. One to many relationships. And also if you see the standard objects, right? I told you leads and I don't do accounts. Sorry. I told you accounts. Just to go to the objects and see what are the relations we have between these objects. They're all standards, right? This is not created by us, right? This is all standard objects. Account, leads, accounts, contacts. Salesforce also given us the standard relationships. What is the relation between account and contact? So you have to go for contacts first. We'll see what is the relation between this. I'm going on contact first. I'm checking the fields in contact. Do we have any lookup kind of thing? Just type for lookup. We have these many. And if you see, we have a lookup for account. What does it mean? I am on the object, right? I am on the object. And I can see a field on the object. Then what is the parent here? What is the parent here? I am on one object and I have a field which is So which is a lookup field. Now what is the parent here? What is the child here? Now I am on contact. That's what I'm told, right? I am on contact. These are all the fields I have. Now I have a field called account name. Okay, I have a field called account name. Okay, account name, I have field. And what else I have? I have some assistant name. These are all standard fields. Okay, they're all the standard fields. But the date. Okay, like this I have. What else we have? Owner. Okay, like that I just mentioned few fields. Example, this is the account object, for example. Right? Or else leave it as a process for now. I don't have the relation like this. Okay. Now I have account here. Now in contact, I have a field called account. Now what is the child object here?
Contact.
Contact is the child object because I told you whenever I am creating a relationship, I need to create that relationship on the child object only. In the other way, if I find any lookup field on one object, simply that field, that object is a child object. Both are same, right? So whenever I find any field with relationship in one object, then that will be the child. To which object the relation is there? That is a parent. Simple. Now I am on contact object. I have a field. I found a field called account and I found a relationship. Then this is a child. Simple. To which object it is child? This one. That means Salesforce already given me the relation between these two accounts and context object. What is that relation? Relation. Say, okay. So interviewers will ask you, what is the relation between account and contact? Because that is given by the Salesforce. So this is a relation. The same time you have n number of objects, standard objects. Opportunities we have, right? Cases we have, many standard objects we have, opportunities. Okay, the naming convention. Okay, for now. Okay, I just give random. So and also we have cases, many objects, right? First of all, you need to understand the relationship between these two objects. All these objects. What is the relation between account and cases? Like this will be there. What's the relation? What is a lookup or master? You need to figure it out because that is a standard objects, right? So simply you can go to the objects, whatever you want. For example, for case, I'm seeing for case, which object it is mapping to. Where is it cases? Yeah, cases we have. I need to go for fields. Just check for lookup. See, this is a lookup to account. Then what is the child here? What is the child? What is the child object here? I'm on case. I can see a field called account. So lookup relation is there. What is the child object?
Contact.
No, here.
Okay.
I am on case, right? A case is also one of object, Salesforce given object. I am on case object. So case is also an object. Okay, like contact. Now what is the child here? Case is the child. Account is the parent. Because I have a field on this case object. Okay, that means like this. Because I also have a lookup relation with the case. Like this, Salesforce provided many relationships between the objects because those are all the standard objects Salesforce has provided us. Okay, for custom objects, we are creating the relationships. Okay, so you need to go and see what are the relations between these objects also, if you have time. Okay, because those are all standard objects. How we can say, how we can see these relations, that's how I'm showing now. Okay, just go to any object, simple, just go to any object. Okay, opportunities, I'm going. Whether I have any lookup, just type lookup, simple. Okay, these are all the standard fields. I already have, oh, okay, I have a lookup here. With what object? Account object. That means what is the child here? Opportunity is the child. And also like this. Opportunity is the child. So Salesforce has provided me the lookup relation like this. Got it? See, these are the standard standard relations Salesforce has provided. For account, see, for single account, we have 3 relations with 3 different objects. Got it? These are all the standard sets. All these are lookups. Account is the parent, and for parent, we have 3 different chains. Like that. If somebody asks you, so for example, you went to a real-time project, which is already built project. So somebody already developed. For example, for Swhizz technologies, we already developed all these relations. So tomorrow somebody came, some new guy came. He has to understand, right, what are the relations between the objects. Now he has to go to the each and every object and he has to see, okay, what is the relations between these 2 objects. Like that, he has to draw a diagram so he will easily understand it. Got it? Everybody clear, right? Yeah. So just go and create the master detail relation and try to create, if you can, the lookup also with some other standard objects. Okay, so take it any account or contact. Okay, try to create the lookup relation also. Okay, and we'll see. So come up with the doubts you have so that we'll discuss in detail on this because this is the main topic. Okay, tomorrow we will discuss some other topic. If you have any doubts, we'll continue the same session. Okay, tomorrow also. Okay, yeah. So hope everybody understood this. So we'll connect tomorrow again. Okay. So just stay for 2 minutes, guys. I just want to discuss one thing. Just stay for 2 minutes. Okay, then. So we can wrap up the call for today. Okay. So we'll discuss in detail tomorrow. And just so reply in Telegram. Okay. So reply in the Telegram if so. If I post something, just reply to that. Okay. Yeah. So thanks, guys. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.